Well, hello. We're starting immediately into it today. Because I just felt like bopping. Ooh, that's really loud in my ear. I hope that's not too loud for you guys. Turn that down. Sure. Yep, we're just chilling. That's all this is. We're just chilling until it's time for Coach to start his stream. Wait a minute, I passed my gravestone. Where's my gravestone over here? Apparently I died. And apparently when I died, I didn't have a whole lot to my name. I must have died multiple times. Kind of don't remember where I left off, to be honest. I should have titled this, Oops, I Started Again, because that's exactly what happened. Oh, I got blown up by the creeper, that's right. I was fishing. I was just standing here fishing and I got blown up by the creeper. It was very rude. Okay. Also, I have a bunch of stuff that I can't do anything with, so I'm just gonna toss it, because I don't want it, I can't use it, it's just inventory space. Taker upper at this point. Also, if you hear Pippin in the background, he says hi. Alright, we just started, so we're basically in mud hut mode at this point. And I know what I would like to do. I would like to fill in that creeper hole, but apparently I don't have the dirt. Because I used it all to make more dirt. Also, Pippin says hi. Multiple times he says hi. Hello, Penguin! Oh, and apparently hello, Aegeus. I didn't see any chats before this from him, but it also cuts off at a certain point too, so so he probably said something and I probably missed him. But hello, Penguin! Okay, focus. No distractions. If you guys haven't seen the Bardic Aggravation Part 2 interview, you should. It was a fantastic interview. I loved it. I listened to the whole thing. The whole thing. It was great. Go ahead and make some more mercury, because why not? Get our coal back, so we're gonna make some mercury. Ooh, technically we have some salmon. We don't have any flint. Let's get some gravel. We need gravel. Put our excavator down here too. We need gravel. Also, I had put in some settings to fix the lag, but unfortunately, I think they got reset. So the lag might be back just for this particular stream. Okay, well, you know what? I wanted dirt, so I'm gonna have dirt. Okay, there we go. I've got, as long as I've got some gravel, I will have infinite flint. Oh, yes, yes, Penguin. Feel free to check it out when you want, when it's convenient. I mean, I guess, or not, if you don't want to. But, no, it was a lot of fun. I did end up leaving early at one point. I put in kind of some long days, and I was just kind of getting like, okay, it's time to get back home, it's time to get laundry, it's time to get chores. I was feeling like that pressure, like that sense of buildup. Oh, hang on, you need another spot, don't you? Actually I probably should keep this side solid, and I probably should make it a three wide. But let's get some flint. Get some flint, get a knife, get gravel. Gravel, shovel, cutting board. Cutting board, cutting board. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, for sure. They're actually reserved the room for next year. It was their first time hosting a retreat, just like it was my first time going to a retreat. And yeah, I'm definitely going back next year. Whoop. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Hey! Hey, Aegeus, now I can see your chats. Apparently I wasn't able to see them before. There we go. And we're gonna cook some salmon. So yeah, we're just kind of, honestly, we're just doing exactly what I would be doing. Waiting for the coach stream to start, but this time I'm sharing it with you guys. I have a script I typed up today, but I didn't quite feel up to recording it. I don't know, I just felt like streaming and felt like playing some Minecraft. It's been a weird couple of days. That is for sure. It's been a weird couple of days. But I'm glad you guys are here. I'm really glad you guys are here. That means a lot. Like I said, it's been a bit weird. If you're wondering what that sound is, that's my cat running up, and that's my cat's claws on the hardwood floor. Oh, I'm sorry that you might not make the coach stream. I'm kind of curious. I mean, I'm not going to be able to make all of it because he always... His time slot that he uses is, like, as I'm going to bed. But, I'm hoping to at least catch part of it to see... You know, I try to keep up with them every so often. I try not to skip too many in a row. Also, listening to the interview today really was interesting for me. It kind of rekindled my fondness for DC20. You know, as I was listening to that interview, I was just thinking of all the things that like attracted me to DC20, that got me out of 5e in the first place, got me out of my little niche that I was in. And I don't play frequently enough for it to be that big a deal. So I mentally in my head, I can flip-flop back and forth between systems because I have no players to take with me, at least currently. That'll change, but at least currently. Oh my gosh, my brain is everywhere, you guys. Again, I thank you very much for being here. Your guys' being here is kind of like a warm hug to me right now, and I appreciate it. I'm glad you're happy to be here. Oh, wow, Penguin. That sounds serious. Oh, I used to suffer from migraines a lot. I do not wish that fate on anybody. That is oof. That is oof. Okay. Dirt. Garden. Safety. Could put the incubator outside, because I think we lack room. Although, I could do the plant breeding in here just for now, just to get the 10-10-10s, because that water will stretch this far, and I need like just enough room. In fact, I could put the plant breeding right here, and it would be totally fine, because it's becoming night. Because that's where we're at next, apparently. I had forgotten where I left off, but that's where I left off. Plant breeding. Yeah, migraines are the worst. I would not wish that fate on anyone. It is bad, 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 bad. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. No, actually, I don't need 3. I need 2. 2, 2, 3, 2. And I do not have a watering can as of yet. For right now, much as I need to do the plant breeding, I probably more importantly mandrake seeds. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna forgo everything else and I'm gonna focus only mandrake seeds. I do have 1 bone meal, so I'll go ahead and use that. I have a couple of bones, which I'll turn into bone meal, so I can go ahead and get full mandrake as quickly as I can. And I'm going to go ahead and make crop sticks now. I'm gonna make a couple of crop sticks. Even though this is a new world, I'm kind of thinking about doing... I have the Reclamation series. That's pre-recorded, by the way. That's all stuff I've previously done that I just really slowly over time. But my hope is that... Oh, that worked out, I guess. I got a mandrake, and it didn't come out screaming at me. So we're gonna put 1 here, 1 here. He said that 3 is faster. I don't know if 3 is really faster. 25 mature, 50 mature, 50, 75 mature. Okay, so now all of these are mature, so they can input into the crop sticks here. In the meantime, I do have mandrake. So I am going to grab these merc shards and put them, that's sulfur. Oh, I really messed myself up with that one. That's actually the mercury vessel. We're gonna pull out this alchemical salts because it's the wrong kind of alchemical salt. We're gonna pull out that sulfur. Sulfur, like the soul of an item. Salt, like the body of an item, and mercury being the 3rd piece. So what we need now is we need mineral salts. So we're going to stuff some charcoal in there. Oops. Pull all that out. We're going to stuff some charcoal in there, and it's going to make salts. Oh, I hear you outside, skellies. I hear skellies outside. You know, Penguin, I have been guilty of getting people into games they weren't normally into before. So, yeah. Let's see. Liquefaction. Can I not? Oh, excuse me. That one requires copper. Mercury, salt. There's a different piece that I need. It's the sal ammoniac tank, except for it's not actually sal ammoniac that I need. It's a fluid vessel. Okay, I'm following again now. All right, so I need one of these, to which I'm probably missing sticks. Might not actually be missing sticks. I need the accumulator, and then I need something called a fluid vessel. Here we go. Oh, and that's going to require Chemonite bricks, because of course it is. And it's going to require a tank, because of course it does. So let's build the tank, because we can do that. And then the Chemonite bricks, we actually have regular Chemonite, which you put into a furnace, and that makes the Chemonite bricks. What that's going to do is we're going to use the accumulator, which is this piece right here. And we're going to put mandrake in there with the sal ammoniac, and that's going to give us hemoglobic fluid. Of which, the way that sal ammoniac accumulators typically work is you put water in them and then sal ammoniac builds up below. So we're just going to keep doing this because it filters through slowly over time. Like so. And then when you have enough, the MB stands for millibuckets. When you have enough, 1,000 millibuckets is one full. I don't know why it's millibuckets. I mean, I could be wrong. I heard someone say that it was millibuckets, and I guess I just trusted them. But when it hits 1,000, that's one full Minecraft bucket. So this is 1,000 millibuckets. So if it's 1,100, that means it's a full bucket plus, 2/10 of another bucket. And so what we can do is once we have a full bucket, we can just put it in our 4x4 and get that sal ammoniac crystal. The crystals are really handy because you can turn them into mercury at a 5-to-1 ratio. Which I did not know. You can also turn them into the mineral salts too, but the charcoal also does that, and I feel like that's good enough. I mean, we got 22 mineral salt. So we're gonna be fine. And we have plenty of mercury. So now, there's 3 different salts actually. So the salts we put in there before, so that's a jar of sulfur. That is sulfur dirt. There are many, 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 many kinds of sulfurs. So we need the exact right sulfur in order to produce what we want to produce. But salts, there's only 3 different kinds. So you can use the same salt for multiple different recipes. This is a strata salt, which you'd use for dirt, but we need a mineral salt, which is what this is, alchemical salt minerals. And mercury is the same for all of them. Mercury is just mercury. So the way that we get the stuff that we need is we craft that fluid vessel I was talking about, like so. And then for lack of anywhere else to put it, I know I'm kind of crammed up in here. I will expand out eventually. I can't put that there. That'll be covered. I will expand out eventually. I'm just not quite there yet. So there we go. So now what we're going to do is instead of putting water in there like we would, we're going to put a mandrake root. And there we go, mandrake root. And a bucket of sal ammoniac. So we're going to put mandrake and sal ammoniac in there together. And what's going to happen is it's going to come out into what's called hemoglobic fluid. And then we're going to plant the mandrake. We are not going to right-click harvest the mandrake, because if we do, an actual live mandrake will come out. And it will scream and yell and deal damage to us, and it's all kinds of horrible things. Let's see. Sorry, I've been falling way behind on chats. Let's see. My best friend found out that you haven't really played Minecraft and has been letting me know how much of a travesty. It is a travesty. You should definitely play Minecraft, Penguin. Especially if you're a cross-stitcher like me. I mean, it's just all the things that fit together. Oh, you're playing Civ 6. Now, there's a game I have not played. but I do have a respect for. Other people I know have played Civilization games, and they do look like a lot of fun. Also, that was my cat knocking things over. Penguin, this mod pack is called Reclamation. This is definitely a more advanced Minecraft mod. If you are not familiar with the basics of Minecraft, I would not necessarily consider playing this. For one, if you do, and you get used to the game mechanics in this mod, there's a chance that it will actually ruin vanilla Minecraft for you. Chance. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but it's a lot more engaging to me because there's a lot more going on, but it's also a lot harder. But also a lot more interesting because there's a lot of mods in this mod pack. Yep. Yeah, in fact, there's a server that I play on that Aegis also plays on, although I think he's only been online once. But he has another game that he's into, which is his Cyberpunk game, I believe. Oh yeah, he mentioned it earlier, Cyberpunk 77. Yep, this is still Reclamation. As a matter of fact, it's just a new world save. The other world save that the episodes are releasing on is called Craftvania, and this world save is called Forgotten Lands. The reason why, believe it or not, there's a method to the madness. The reason why is because, I lost my train of thought. Of course I did. I don't have enough. Oh, I do have enough hemoglobic fluid. Okay, so we're going to right click to empty that out. We're going to put the hemoglobic in there, and we're going to put some copper in there. And screw it, I'm going to put all my copper in there. We're going ham. We're putting it all in, as Coach says. Referencing the interview from earlier today, which was fantastic. Anyways, I completely lost my train of thought. I was saying something arguably semi-important, but I guess not important enough. Oh, the reason why I started over. Oh, look, there's an Enderman out there. And look, it's kind of becoming morning. Oh, we have an Enderman killing spot. Kill the Enderman. We do need pearls. After playing on the server, I made a lot further story progress than I did the first time around. And I also learned a couple of little innovative things, little like automation type things, little bits and bobs to the mod that the main story doesn't really teach you. And because of that, I really wanted to take because they, of course, are all like, wow, I wish I would have known that sooner. Oh, good. How'd you get in here? Hey, buddy. Well, that just happened. Okay. A mini zombie got into my house. A mini husk. Oh, go away. While the cats play. But, yeah, anyways, I have all of these innovations. I have all of these little things to make life easier. And I really wanted to do them, but they would take a lot of work to... I'd have to do some major work to retrofit them into the Craftvania world, which I may still do at some point when it gets to the point where I need to continue the episodes. I don't know. But I wanted to start a new world where I could start from scratch, including those things. So here's an example, because maybe this will help make things make sense. So, for example, there's extra tools. This is a hammer. I never had one of these in the Craftvania world. I did everything with a regular pickaxe. Pickaxes do 1 by 1 by 1. A hammer breaks things in 3 by 3. A stone anyways. So I can go into a tunnel or a spot where I don't really care about what the land looks like. And I can take my hammer and I can go pop, 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 pop and get an entire stack of cobblestone for use as materials. Whereas prior to that, ooh, huskhead. Whereas prior to that, using just a regular pickaxe, that would have taken me, 3 times as long. So, okay, now understanding the recipes and the usefulness for those extra tools, okay, well, of course I want to go take that knowledge back to my single player world, you know, that I didn't have before. Things like automated farming and automatic tank fillers and just bits and bobs that after I learned them were kind of, you know, game changers, but I didn't know how to retroactively go back and fit them into the existing world. Whereas, by starting over, I can start from the get-go building towards those things. So it's just, that's the best way I can think of to explain it. Like, technically speaking, I wanted to put all of this stuff outside. I didn't want it in the house. I wanted to put it outside the house, but I forgot how early how dangerous the early game is because I've been playing the late game so long. In the late game, you have torches everywhere and monsters don't really spawn and you can be outside all night and it basically is not a big deal, but in the early game that's not the case. So I kind of had to readjust. So hence why everything's crammed in here the way it is so that I still have. And then I tried to run where I did put all this stuff outside and then night came and then I closed the doors and hid away and then I had nothing to do all night. So that's the other main reason why it's all crammed inside the house the way it is because, well, I needed to have something to do all night long. And I'm probably going to be relatively shy on coal now. I have 15 and 5. So yeah, that is how, believe it or not, there was a method to the madness of how and why I ended up starting over. Is that an Enderman? I can kill. The other thing I thought about using this world for, I hadn't committed to the idea yet, but thought about it. He stole my dirt block, that rat bastard. Is using this world as a sort of Reclamation Explains. So in the series that comes out on Minecraft Mondays, it's just relaxing. There's just background music of some kind and the sounds of Minecraft. And the reason I make that stuff is because that's the stuff I like listening to. I love Minecraft long plays where it's just the sound of someone playing Minecraft because I love the sounds. They're very nostalgic for me. And the music and all of that. There's my Enderman way over there. I don't think I can aggro him from here though. Maybe I can aggro him. You can actually aggro them from a huge distance away. If you stay on them, but that he might be too far. He also might be too far. But oh, he's over there. They might actually be too far, and I don't want to go through the water because the water will slow me down while I try to run from them. And we don't need pearls yet. I'm just trying to think ahead of time. But because of me just kind of dilly-dallying through and the other thing is the Minecraft Mondays playthrough is literally just me playing the game. So all of the moments where I'm just sitting there grinding or I'm sitting there waiting or I'm just trying to, all of those moments, you get on screen. It's like, it is a full playthrough. This is what it takes to get through the game type of playthrough. But what I could have used this world for is what I would have called Reclamation Explains, where I get to, what was the recipe again? Okay, I see. I was very close. Where I get to cut certain things. So I could just film and film and film, and I could just say things like, okay, now we're gonna 10 these mandrakes. And then I cut the footage, and then I come back, and I've already got 10 seeds. So it's like I get to skip all the boring bits, and then I can actually explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how the mod actually works. Because if you knew nothing about the mod pack, and you just watched me play it, you'd pick up some stuff by context, but there's a lot that's missing. Oh, I bet you these don't have enough light. I bet you that's the problem. Let's see. Torch. Which is kind of crazy if they really don't have enough light. I might have to move this outside. The reason I was trying to do it indoors, though, was so that I could try to do it at night, but I might not be able to. The watering can is like infinite bone meal. Okay, yeah, those are now mature. I might have to take this outside. I might not be able to. Come on. And the other reason, so like things like, okay, when you start, you want to start by 10. Ow. That's what happens when you harvest. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, I hate mandrakes. It's just the sound that does it. Evil little monsters, you. I cannot see what I'm doing. Maybe I'll die, and that'd be great. Ah, okay. They sound great, don't they? We gotta go kill them. This is why you don't harvest mandrakes during the day. That's why you don't harvest mandrakes during the day. Come on. You've only got 2 hearts left. There you go. Alright, that's one of you. Did I kill the other one already? Ugh. Okay, yeah, it stops going all squirmy-wormy when they stop screaming. Okay. Yes. It sounds like most of your... Oh my goodness, that's terrible. But funny. Okay, so we may not have enough light in here. That might be just a side effect. Yeah, I have a whole plan for how I want to build this thing out. Mostly. So let's see. So that is the Enderman killing spot. So I think the plan was... Because this is all... A huge chunk of this is just going to be a giant, like, storage area when it's all said and done. I just haven't quite gotten that far yet. I think we are thankfully past the part... Yeah, I really want to be able to garden indoors. That's going to be an issue, because now that we've got the watering can... Oh, I don't need that. I need this. Now that we've got the watering can, that's going to be what's occupying the time going forward. Sounds terrible, but true. If anywhere I have mandrakes, they would hurt me, so I'm not keeping any mandrakes anywhere. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I'm running out of room. At least I can pick this stuff up. I'll go put it outside. Oh my gosh, is it sunset already? Psh, that was fast. Okay, I think if I remember correctly, this is the side where the water... Well... Okay, never mind. We're going in already. Alright, time to put another chest down. Okay, well, we're good for the moment on that. Good, good, good. We don't need that. We probably don't need those. I'm just gonna, like, drop some of this stuff off. Arrows we should have down here. We don't. Okay, never mind. Alright, so let's pick all of this stuff up, and then we'll continue our gardening escapade. The reason this is so small is because, actually I can just hold it in my inventory, that's not a problem. Because we are inside at night. Don't mind at night, I know you're feeling really brave. Also, we need more torches. Yoink. Yoink. Or, excuse me, I do need sticks. I put away my sticks? What are you talking about? I totally need sticks. I could have done it in the 4x4, but oh well. Meow. Pippin. Okay, let's see. Wow, I already have like a ton of light, but okay. We're just gonna... Actually, I shouldn't put it there. I should put it over here, where the plants actually are gonna be. There we go. Alright, let's try this again, because we need to just spend some time and 10, 10, 10 the seeds, because it'll be worth it in the end if we do. How did I get an extra crafting table again? Oh, that's right, I remember. It's a shame that I died, because I was doing really well. I had gotten fairly far without dying. There we go. And that water should reach that stuff over here. So, okay, now we're back at square one. Only this time, now we're dedicating our... These are all baseline seeds. Oh, we also need a composter. So I will drop off these alchemy pieces. I shouldn't, but I will. Because... Composter. Flimsy wood and caminite, which we don't have, but we can craft. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sand and 4 clay, caminite. I keep clicking on the wrong thing all the time. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe. Okay, there we go. Composter. Composter equals very important. Composter is how we don't uselessly fill our inventory with pounds and pounds of different leveled seeds that all take up different space. So, okay. So we're going to plant these guys. And provided there's enough light, we should get stuff in the middle. Once we get stuff in the middle, it will convert over to agricraft. Oh, put my farm overall on the roof. That way I can farm at night. I could, but I do need access to water. Because even though I'm using the watering can, for a proper farm, you really should have it within 4 blocks of water. And I'd have to build a fair amount to get the water up on the roof. Like, I'd have to build a block down for the water to sit in, or I'd have to build the roof up or some such. Okay, so the fact that it's growing... at least for the moment, bodes well. Come on. There you go. So you'll grow. You have enough light. You're just being stubborn, huh? Just refusing to grow, huh? You guys are just... Unless there's a change that was made when we were on the server... Oh, wait, there goes that one. Maybe they're just slow. I've worked with so many... Oh! Wow. Looked out. That scared me. I thought another mandrake was gonna pop out, but I guess it is nighttime, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, I saw that a bit ago and I never got back around to it. 10, 10, 10 refers to the levels of the seeds. So in agricraft, seeds have levels, and they all start at level 1. And to 10, 10, 10, the seeds means to crossbreed them to increase their stats, and 10 is the maximum. Might as well get to crafting then. Yeah, I should... I'm not sure why it's... Okay, well, we're gonna try something. We're gonna try taking the crop sticks down, taking these guys down, and doing it the other way. Because previously, I thought that you had to have crop sticks, but when we were on the server, you did not have to have crop sticks. Oh, nope. You apparently have to have crop sticks. Okay, so now notice how both of these seeds take up 2 different spots. So over here, I have the seeds from previous attempts. And then over here, I have mandrake seeds, and it says fertility 8, gain 8, growth 8, mutivity 8, strength 7. So that means that these seeds are higher level than these seeds around. Now, the reason they actually normally start at 1, but for recording purposes, I went into the configuration and changed the minimum to 7. So every seed that I interact with is going to start at minimum at 7, because I just did that to speed up the process. I mean, I still have to go through the work to 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 them, but it just is a little bit faster because they're starting from a better spot. So it takes me like, 10 minutes instead of 30. And again, I originally did that just for recording purposes, and it just kind of stuck around. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they weren't working because they were not in the crop sticks, which is my fault. So these are all so focusing mutivity first. So mutivity 8, 8, 8, and 8. So all 4 of these are better than these ones. So what we do at that point then is place the sticks back down, and then we just plant the ones that we have that we know are better. And then we compost the rest because, as you saw, they start taking up a lot of space in your inventory. So that's what the composter is for, so that you can continuously empty your inventory. And then as you crossbreed them, the stats will continuously go up. So now this one is a 9, 8, 9, 8, 9. And it's kind of randomized. And then the reason why we see that one's still mutivity 8, but all the others have gone up 9. Mutivity being the stat that dictates yeah, and we're just gonna keep doing this until we get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Oh, hey! It's Mantic! Hello! Boy, how long ago was that and I missed it? Okay, and then we... Oop. Dunk, dunk, dunk. So, 2, 3, and then let's see, 8, 9... 7, 9. It's the 4th one over. It's this one. And then, oop. Yoink, 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 yoink. It is the brilliant Mantic. I do think we can get away with calling him that. I do think Mantic is brilliant. Certainly smarter than me. Oh, there we go. We got some 10s already. So now we just keep going until everything is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So now you see why I like having the base stats kind of increased a little bit, because I still get the feeling of going through the process, but I don't have to spend half an hour per plant. So like a good 2 hours just going through the process. I can kind of minimize that a little bit. So most of these are 10s. So we're going to take these down. Yoink. And let's see. Mutivity is 9 on all of them. So we're just going to go with all of these ones. Oh, I keep thinking that's the composter for some reason. There we go. And then we're gonna raise these up. We raise them up so they can climb on mountains. Sorry. I should have probably apologized in advance for any outbreaks in song. See, this one is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, but this one is 9. So you can have stats drop actually. This one is also 10, 10, 10, 10, but it's different. That's very interesting. So at this point, I kind of want to know why these guys are not stacking, because if they're proper super seeds, oh, I suppose I could use that term. If they're proper super seeds, they'll stack on top of each other. And in fact, what we'll do is we'll just take all these down, and we'll just use these front 2. Because you are 10 and you are 10. Go away, husks. See, and you can spend a fair amount of time just doing this. So hence why I'm doing it indoors, is because then I don't have to pay attention to the day-night cycle. I can just focus on this. And they grow a lot faster when they're 10, 10, 10 too. That's that term I used because I picked it up from the Snock video. But I think Steve calls them super seeds. Oh, there. See how these 2 stacked? So now they are proper super seeds. They are proper 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And once we have a couple of those, then we're pretty much golden. Because once we have 2 of those, then we can always use them to breed with something else. So let's see, since it is daylight and it's 7 in the morning, so we're good there. Ooh, do not go anywhere near me, creeper. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the creeper, because he's probably gonna kill me if I set him off. Ooh, but he killed the zombies and he did not kill me. That was a perfect outcome. Yes. Minecraft Pro tier. Woohoo, I didn't think that would actually work. I do need to fill in this hole, though. I'm, like, upset that there's holes. There's creeper holes everywhere. I only miss Mantic, but well, part of the reason why I'm missing the chats is not just a delay. It's because I'm actually not seeing the chats because I'm too busy explaining things. Hello, T-Dog. I'm sorry you're missing the experiments. I'm glad that you enjoyed the experiments. That's quite a compliment for you to say that you enjoyed them enough to actually miss them. Part of it is because, and this actually sneak peeks into the next script somewhat. Part of it is because I'm not playing right now. Like, I don't have 4 groups going at the same time like I used to. Where are my sticks? Okay, we'll take 2 of you. I do have sticks, I just want more of them because it takes a lot. There we go. Yeah, I don't have as, like, a whole bunch of groups running like I used to. I just have the one home group, and they've canceled. We've not played for like 6 weeks. So it's just one of those things where when I'm not playing the system, it's really hard to make TTRPG stuff because that's not where my brain's at. That's not where my heart's at. And part of the deal with the channel is that it's like me being genuine. Like, I'm never gonna put on a performance just for the sake of posting something. At least not anymore. So, you know, it's the part of the reason why some of that stuff turned out as good as it did turn out is because that's what I was really into. That's what I was passionate about, and that stuff that tends to come through in the videos. And so if the heart's not in it, then I don't really want to post it. And so, yeah. Like, it's sad in a way. It like, or borderline pathetic, but like, what I'm into right now is Minecraft. I don't know. My inner 12-year-old wins, I guess. As Minecraft is oft seen as a game for kids. One of those was not very good. You only need 3. Oop, I kept pressing forward and I didn't mean to. The rest of the Misty story. I don't know. I don't know what's the rest of the Misty story is now. Are you referring to the Bardic Aggravation live show? That'll definitely be interesting. I actually watched the whole part 2 of the interview today. And it sort of... I don't know, it kind of sort of brought me back around to DC20 a little bit. It kind of was just really nice just sitting there, like, witnessing the enthusiasm, as it were. Because back when I first fell into DC20, which is, of course, before Daggerheart released, the main thing that got me into it was Coach himself. Like, he was the selling point. And the enthusiasm and all of that. So, why are there 2 sets of 2... What is going on? Okay, now I must investigate. Which means we need a tool we don't have, which means we need to open our quest book. Okay. We've unlocked a whole bunch of quests. So I'm just gonna hit accept all the things, and that should have given me... It did not give me... thingy. Where is... Oh, here we go. Here's what I need. Whoops. I didn't get the XP from that. There we go. Free crop sticks. Okay, there we go. What I need is here. Where will I put you? Why not? I'll put you over there. Okay, so what the heck? Oh, 9 mutivity and 9 fertility, minor stats. They have dominant genes and recessive genes. Okay, so technically speaking, neither one of those are actually true super seeds yet, which makes me wonder, are those mandrakes? Oh yeah, they are. Okay, the mandrakes are true super seeds. So we can put those in here for now. And then what we'll do is we'll X-nay these, put down some 1010s, some pseudo 1010s, and then we should be able to get true 1010s from that. Let's see, the 3 crits we all got. Let's see. The 3 crit. You know what, Aegis, you may have to remind me because I genuinely forgot, I guess, which is sad, but true. Not gonna fib it. Okay, who's the true super? Are you the true super? No. Are you the true super? Yes. Okay, so if it stacks with the first one, we're good. It stacks with the first one, we're good. Alright. Yoink, 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 yoink. I don't know if the snowballs will... one thing we can do with the snowballs to condense them down into snow blocks. Like so. There we go. I'll take up less space that way. Yeah, because these are the true 10 super seeds. The reason why we're doing the super seeds now is because when we start crossbreeding, then they will have super seed stats. So when I go to crossbreed, like, what is it, belladonna and wheat for flax, the flax will already be 10, 10, 10, 10. See, we're fighting a acid monster. Missy, Kaz, and Z all got crits round 1 on their attacks. Then Misty came up with her idea to stab the crystal with the arrow. Wasn't there some... I wish I could remember that all 3 of you got crits. I wish I could remember that. That makes me feel sad inside. Oh yeah, well, of course there would be high enthusiasm when he's visiting. I mean, who wouldn't be enthusiastic? I was smiling and laughing and pacing around my desk. I was filled with all kinds of energy just watching him. It was definitely something. Okay, see, now I have a ton of mandrakes, so I can just put them all in here. Get some salamoniac. I have iron for faucets, actually. I could... Faucets. Right, I just need sticks and iron, which I have. I have iron, I have sticks. I could just do... And stick. There we go. So now this definitely requires that I move things, because then the 2 tanks have to go elsewhere if I do that. And what I could do is X-nay that water pool down there. Bring those both down. I could X-nay that water pool, bring those both down. I'm not sure about the incubator and the other 3. The problem is the incubator takes up so much flippin' space. Like, the other 3 I could put right over there and have no problem, but the incubator takes up like a ton of space. And I didn't necessarily want to put him outside. This is going to require some thought on my part. Because in my original vision, the cabin, which is what we're in now, it's currently a mud hut, but the quote-unquote cabin, screw it, we'll just put these up. I don't have any other use for them since I made them. There. Now we're not being rained on, at least. Yeah, because the other 3 items can go center. You just can't reach the mercury out the other side if you put it. If I put it where it was like in the wall. I'm thinking. No, that was the over... Yeah. Aegis. I knew there was some rounds of combat in between. And then let's see, T-Dog says, very fun to see, but I feel bad that Brennan, that he had to miss out. Oh, I'm sure he felt terrible. That would be such a shame. Watching the interview though was really great. I started part 1, but I didn't make it all the way through, and I just skipped over to part 2. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a good reminder, because there was one thing that Wheeler mentioned that I had kind of forgotten about. Because one of the big topics lately has been the crunch, and him kind of reminding us that, like, the way the game is built, you don't have to have all the crunch. Like, you just don't use it, which is true. And I think I kind of already knew that. There's still a part of me that's like, I want to see what happens. Like, I want to see where the game goes. I want to see the spells. I want to see the great rewordening. Blech. And I want to see how the game continues. Because, like, I'm starting to get the impression that if I were to return to it, it would be like I would be playing like DC 10 or DC 15 or some such. Like, I'd be playing probably the rules light version. Okay. So. Okay, so I'm gonna step away real quick. I'm just gonna be right back while these grow. Okay, I'm back. She was done, but also have been doing your own type of rules light. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit like, you know, I'm listening to the part 2 of the interview, and I'm getting all excited. I'm like, oh yeah, the prime and the skills, and remember the experiment where you could build a character by playing instead of building them, you know, just with a book in front of you. You're like, let's go on a mini adventure and build up the skills by using them Skyrim style. Like, that was the coolest, and I really loved that. I still love that. And so there's a part of me that was getting all excited, like, almost wanting to play DC 20 again, and then I'm remembering, like, well, my home group is not really as into it. They definitely prefer Daggerheart. And, well, I could pop into another group, but I'm not really in a place to DM a whole long involved campaign or anything like that. Really not. And then there was a part of me that was feeling a little bit guilty. Oop, that was a mess up. There's part of me feeling a little bit guilty of, like, you already made your choice or something. Buddy? Buddy, you okay, buddy? There's a part of me that's like, you know, you already made your choice. You already switched your systems. You love it. Your players love it. You already made videos about it, like a little bit too late to change my mind now. It's weird. It's weird. I was feeling all sorts of weird things, but then again, I've kind of been feeling weird in general lately. He says, stop feeling guilty. I can't help it. Sometimes for me, it's a bit of a natural state of being. Whoop. We're getting there, but we, slid backwards on one of those. We only have 3, so let's just do 3. It's weird, because I love them both. But in different ways for different reasons. I almost feel like, okay, this is gonna be really sappy, but just bear with me on this. I almost kind of feel like Bella from, the Twilight series, the stupid Twilight series where she's like super in love with the 2 guys at the same time or whatever. It almost feels like that, and it's like, okay, you need to just like pick one for the moment. Not that you have to pick one. I know you can like more than one game. I know that you can play more than one game. I get that, but my time is limited. My groups are finite, so for the sake of what actually runs at my table, I do need to pick one. Like, I know people are like, you know, you don't really need to choose a system, but I mean, yes, they're correct, and yes, you can love more than one system. I do love more than one system. But I have one group, and I have one table, and we play one game at that one table, at least on continuum, for, you know, taking the game to, you know, from session to session to session to session. I mean, I'm not going to run a session in DC-20 and then run a session in Daggerheart and then run a session in DC-20. That is definitely not the kind of I don't really like that idea. I really don't. I like being able to really feel that sense of the adventure continuing. And I do want to have one set system, you know, that I can just keep going. Okay, so we should be really close to 10-10-10 the Belladonna. And once we get a bed, once we get flaxseed, then we can start putting our crafting stations outside and it's no big deal. Which, all we gotta do is 10-10-10 the wheat after this. And that is that. And it's probably going to be... Yep. Okay, Belladonna, done. Okay. So... we could probably take these one into our inventory. Doink. Where is that bone meal popping out? Am I picking it up or is it outside? I do not trust. There's monsters. Okay, maybe it's not outside. Their bone meal pops out of the composter every once in a while, in case you were wondering what I was on about. Yeah, and now I have a ton of these resources. I'm gonna start building. I'm basically trying to fast track my way to, saplings, because saplings give me an unlimited wood supply. Okay, so what we'll do for the moment is we'll continue with our original plan, which means we will need to take down the... Let's see, how do I want to do this? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll put the 3 of you... Oop. Put the 3 of you out here. And... here. And then what we'll do is... we'll get you guys... You're not really losing a whole ton. That's the wrong item. It helps if I get an actual pickaxe, don't I? Okay, there we go. There's a lot of mandrake. We've got 2 of you, so you should stack. stack. And we're gonna lose a little bit of Salamoniac, but that's fine. And then we're going to trade out some of these needles. I don't really like... Do we not have dried earth? I guess we'll use cobblestone for now. Move that one because I don't like not having a weapon. Okay, so we're going to clean that up. We are going to put the... Should have put the fluid vessel. Oops, that was dumb. The fluid vessel here, and then the actual tank here. And of course it's going to face the other way because reasons, I guess. And then yoink, and then yoink. 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 Okay, there we go. Now here's the trick. We need to do that. And then this is going to be tricky. Let's see, we need to do that, and then that. And then we need to have some stairs, which I think dirt can, I think planks can't, and I don't think these can be crafted into stairs. Nope. And I had oak stairs, but I tossed them because I didn't think I'd need them. So they're probably gone, which is fine, actually. That's gonna drive me nuts. There. Still gonna drive me nuts, but whatever. Continuity in game is important. Yeah. So sorry, I'm just now catching back up with the chat there, but yeah, basically, to a certain extent, I do only have one game that I can play because I have, one group, one table, etc., etc. And what Wheeler said about, you can just make that game DC-20 because it's literally all games in one. Like, I mean, I kind of sort of, I see what he was saying with that. And I love the design idea of, oh, there's that bone meal I was wondering about. Let's see. That incubator drives me nuts. It's just, no matter what I do with it, it's in the way. It's never not in the way. I should have designed better. But, yeah, anyways, you guys get the point I was trying to say. I was talking about, I love the DC-10, DC-20, DC-15, like, I love that concept. I mean, I could put it on the backside. Because where's the door? There's the door. I guess nothing else is going there. It's just, I guess I gotta take this guy out too if I'm gonna do that. Oh no, I can't do that one because that one's gotta be... That one can't be water. I don't need water for that one. That one's fine. Okay. It's only the water one. And you could do it... No, because you have to have access to the incubator itself. And you can't bury the... thingamabobber. I almost wish I could just put these guys inside. What if I did that? What if I put these guys inside and the incubator outside? I suppose that'd be silly too, because you're not really going to be using one without the other. Let's see. Salt and sulfur. I usually try to put mercury on the back. There. So now what I need... So now I don't have stairs. So I did ditch my water a little bit too soon, but that's okay. Oh, I also took away my water for those guys. Okay, I got rid of my water a little too soon. I got overexcited. I thought, oh, I have got the water I need, but that's okay. Where's my other two? I have 2 more buckets somewhere. Should I have 1 more bucket somewhere? I have enough iron, though. Yoink, yoink, yoink. That may or may not have been a waste of iron, but whatever. I can technically craft more iron. Yeah, I love the design concept of the multiple levels of DC-20, and that's a deliberate design choice. I also like in the beginning of the interview they ask, what kind of what's your benchmark? Like, how do you determine what goes in or gets cut from the game? Like, what's your sort of flag, if you will, for that? And his response was, better explained, but his response was basically if it's efficient and fun. And I love that because that like, yep, that's Coach, all right. And then the other, not that I know him personally or anything, but it just tracks. But then I also heard that and I'm like, that simultaneously makes a ton of sense, but is also really subjective. And I think Wheeler even point that out. It's like, okay, well, what you determine is fun is not necessarily what someone else is going to determine is fun. And at the end of the day, he can design it fantastically. There's still going to be people where it's like maybe not necessarily for them, or they might have a preference of another system over that system. Like any system, there's going to be those people that it doesn't reach. It's just inevitable. You can't please everybody. See, I was thinking about it. While listening to the interview today, I was thinking about it. And it's like, the most excited that I was trying to determine, like, what peeled me off onto Daggerheart, what made me go to DC-20 was in part excitement for DC-20 and in part a recognition that something wasn't sticking with 5e. Like, 5e, I had been running for years, absolutely loved it, had no inclination. I said that in my original video way back when. I was not looking for another system whatsoever. I had zero plans of changing. And DC-20 came along and it was like, it was so exciting. And I was like, here we go. Here's the 5e I was kind of already looking for. And in retrospect, it's like, DC-20 had what I was looking for, and 5e was losing me. I just didn't recognize that 5e was losing me. I didn't recognize that there was, I won't say an issue, but there was something that definitely caused me to kind of go, well, maybe not, and walk away, as it were. And so now that I've thought about that when it comes to 5e and DC-20, I'm now thinking about that when it comes to DC-20 and Daggerheart. Like, what attracted me to Daggerheart, and simultaneously what de-attracted me from DC-20 in the first place. And if I'm honest, novelty. I mean, let's face it. I'm a fair weather. I'm a shiny, and then I get into something really obsessively, really hard for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'm on to the next thing. So there's an element of that. So novelty. One thing that really attracted me about Daggerheart is I like rolling damage dice. I didn't think I did. I thought skipping damage dice was faster, easier, more efficient, would make combat go fast. Because I really didn't thought that 5e combat was sluggish. I mean, it is sluggish. It's sluggish. It's, and I thought, if we skip... I've heard many, 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 many people say that skipping, roll your attack and damage dice at the same time, it makes things so much faster. Yada yada. Sorry, apparently I can't play and think and speak at the same time. I'm very limited apparently. But so when DC-20, like, I don't know, I like rolling damage dice. Does it create an extra step in combat? Yes, it does. But also, depending on how you mitigate that on either side of it, like, skipping rolling damage dice doesn't do me any good to speed up combat if another 45 minutes is spent trying to help a player figure out what they could spend all 4 AP on because they feel they have to spend 4 AP because it regens on the end of their turn, and that would just be a waste. And just saying, I get an extra attack, I do an extra damage, every single turn does get boring. I mean, if you go into DC 20 and you go, I swing my sword and I spend 1 AP for power attack and 1 AP to get advantage. And if you do that turn after turn after turn after turn after turn, you're not playing DC 20 any differently than you're playing 5e. And that's what was happening at my home group. Now that's going to, mileage will vary depending on your group. A lot of people take to the AP system very, very differently. But in my particular case, with my particular group, every once in a while, we'd get something really creative, which was super awesome, but most of the time, we wouldn't necessarily. Or, like I said, you just spend all of your AP doing power attack and advantage. I spend advantage to negate the disadvantage from this other thing, which once you cancel that advantage and disadvantage out, what you're left with is, I use my action to attack, I use my movement, which is no different from 5e. At least that's what happened to happen at my table in that case. So and we spent so long agonizing over spending all 4 AP as efficiently as possible that skipping rolling damage dice was like, that would have been faster. And again, mileage will vary. Not every group will experience that way. That's just how I experienced it in my home group specifically. Now, introduce Daggerheart. Do you roll attack? Yes. Do you also roll damage? Yes. So there's way more rolls in that instance? Yes. But you know what takes vastly less time for us, for my particular group at my particular table, figuring out what to do. Because they're not sitting there scrolling over a menu that's an 8x10 letter page long of available options to spend your AP on by the time you get through the features and the subclass features and the default actions that you could take and the defensive maneuvers and by the time you get through all of that, just even at level 1, there's the Grippa cheat sheet of what you can spend your AP on is an 8x11 page. It's long. So, which is great because you get a ton of options, but it also, you have a lot of options. And for a lot of folks, there is such thing as too many options. When I introduced Daggerheart with that particular set of players, it was like a switch had been flipped. And they quit thinking, oh, I have XY feature and I have ABC feature and I need to remember this and I forgot about. They quit thinking about all of that, and what they did instead was, I'm a Galapa in a forest fighting corrupted vines. What would I do if a walking pile of corrupted, evil, animated vines were coming towards me? They got out of their character sheets and they got into the world. And I've played with other players to which, the system is a non-issue. I've DM'd DC 20 for people who could run that system, no problem. Turns did not take that long. They knew their characters. They had no problem being very in-world, very diegetic. The DC 20 and them just meshed, and it was fantastic. But I've also run for players where they got lost in the system and they weren't playing the story at that point. And by switching the system to Daggerheart, that particular group, my particular home group, got their heads out of their sheets and into the game. And once that happened, they loved it. And I think that's part of the reason why they loved it, is because that particular system helped them get to that point. Features, well, now instead of a laundry list of features on a sheet that you're sitting there reading through, like an index, now they have these colorful little Magic the Gathering cards, and they just read, entangled. Roll this dice and you entangle your enemy. It's fast, it's sweet, it's to the point. In fact, Coach mentioned that in his interview today. He talked about readjusting the words so that things were less wordsy, less crunchy, and more to the point. Which I hope does happen, because if there's one thing I do have, and I think a lot of people have a bit of a critique of, is that a lot of the features in DC 20 are at least in the current PDF and the 9.5 PDF that I have, a lot of the features are worded in such a way where it's who talks like that? This is wargamey. This is not you could recreate this same meaning in half the words. And so I feel that getting to the great rewording is going to help a lot as far as that goes, because I do think that's a thing. But yeah, they like the cards, not just because, like, yes, holding cards in your hand is fun. There's a tactile response when you're at the table to physically holding cards that we just kind of find fun and enjoy. But I think the main thing for them is that there's less features. That was loud in my ear. Ow. There's less overall features. Instead of trying to pick of a list of 12 to 15, they're now picking from a list of like 4 or 5. So it makes decision making a lot faster. And the cards themselves are worded a lot easier for their brains. So I when I think about stuff like that, it makes me realize that, like, okay, if DC 20 could fill those niches, then heck yeah, I'd have no problem considering seeing if, getting that group to go back to DC 20, because those are the things that we ran into. If the wording was a smidgen cleaned up, and if the feature list was not as excessively long at level 1, etc., or those other levels that he mentioned, like maybe what we needed was DC 10 and not DC 20. Because I love the prime, I love the 4 stats, I love in particular the idea that I could sit down with a person at a table like I did with Summer, and I just say, okay, you're walking through the woods, you hear a breaking branch and a noise to your left. What do? No stats, no sheet, no book, just none of that. I just sit down with a person at a table and I just give them a scenario. Go. And then they say like, oh, I try sneaking around it. Like, okay, then they get a really high agility. Or, oh, I'm just going to smash my way through the woods. Okay, they get a really high might. You know what I mean? Like that experiment in particular, I really fell in love with. But just my group struggled when it came to combat and struggled with getting out of the sheet in the system and into the game, if that made sense. See, and T-Dog, the whole thing with online sheets is has nothing to do with nothing for me. I don't like online sheets. My players use paper sheets. I ask them to use paper sheets. There's only one player that I allow to use an online sheet, and that's because I actually trust him with it. So yeah, online sheets have nothing to do with nothing for me, because my personal experience, and this is extremely biased, this is 100% my own, just personal take. I'm not trying to insult other people at all, but my personal experience is that online sheets are a weight. They're a drag. They slow things down. They cause problems. I have 2 people that I've run for, which is like, it's not like I've run for like hundreds of people or anything, but I've run for a few enough people that 2 is a small percentage. I have 2 people that I've run for where online character sheets were a non-issue. Everybody else I've run for, that it has slowed them down in some way, shape, or form. It has delayed things. It has caused issues. There's technical issues. There's loading issues. There's, what's this button do again? Where's this located? And when I asked my players to move to paper sheets, this was back in 5e, but I asked them to move to paper sheets, and once they did that, they suddenly remembered the features they needed to use. They suddenly remembered that they had an oath bow and they actually have to do a little action and that they get to benefit from their oath bow. They actually remembered how to, like, this and that. One of them was a rogue that she kept forgetting to apply sneak attack, and then we wrote it down on her sheet in a certain way, and then she always remembered to use sneak attack. So it's like, when they wrote down their sheets, they were actually engaged with their character and their stats, and they actually knew what was going on. When they let a machine do it for them, then nothing was in their minds. And this is not a slight against them. It's just something I observed happening. When a machine did the thinking for them, they didn't have to, so they didn't try. And when we moved to paper, and they had to actually learn their character, then they did. And so that was a very positive experience for me, for us, for that group. They like having paper sheets. They like the tactile feel of it. And we very much are returning we very much returned to paper and pen. Like the stream I did where I was printing out the little tokens, and we were using little tokens instead of using digital maps. Like, I very much have a soft spot in my heart for that, and I'm very resistant to online cheats because of my experiences. Yeah, and I I don't want to. I probably already sound like a complete tangenting idiot, but I feel sorry for the people of like Demiplane and places like that that have to try and design sheets to accommodate the sheer volume and level of customization that DC20 has. Like, customized weapon, like when we, in the interview when Wheeler said he was working with his wife and he said, okay, now let's make you a custom weapon. Like, in my game, I never even brought up I mean, I mentioned it, but we never did custom weapons in my game. That's just too much. We already had enough on our plate. We did not want to get involved into custom weapons. Like, if I had an experienced player, like Aegis is experienced, so when he did it, I was okay with that because I knew he knew what he was doing and it wouldn't slow the game down. But with my other players, like, yeah, no, forget custom weaponry. So, it's hard enough to design just a character sheet on paper and make it look good and work and function. And it's hard enough to build something static that does all of that, yet alone something dynamic that has to accommodate all that organization. That's crazy. I don't know. Someone smarter than me is going to have to do that. Oh my goodness. Wow, I really went on a tangent. My goodness. I probably should have saved all of that for an actual video. Truth be told, I'm dry on ideas because I guess the only way I know how to do things is live and on the fly. I don't sound like anything except Tori. Well, that's good. I hope I'm a Tori. I'm a TRG tired Tori is what I am. Hence why I'm playing Minecraft. Speaking of, we have about an hour until, a little over an hour until the coach stream, but I'm gonna end a little bit before the stream so that people have time to get over. Say people, there's only like 2 people watching, I think, but that's okay. I love you guys for being here. Your presence is like a warm hug. See, what I really need to do is carve out, I need to go back, find the recording of that whole big tangent that I just did, get some other background footage to put to it, and then release that as the next video and just be like, this is a mid-stream tangent, here you go, guys. Feels like the easy way out, but it's also true. It's kind of like, tell us how you really feel. You still gotta feed horses? Is this like a game reference, or is this a proverb-like saying that I'm not familiar with? Because I interpret that 2 ways. I interpret that as literal, like you have horses in your backyard you gotta go feed. I interpret that as there's a video game where you gotta go feed horses. And I also interpret that as you basically telling me that regardless of opinions on online cheats, you only can play online because that's what your group is, so that's what you have to work with because that's the tools available to you, like that, in that kind of way. Oh, it's for real? Real like video game real, or real like real? Like you actually have... My grandparents used to have horses, so that's not strange or different to me at all. In fact, they still have horses on their acreage right now. It's not their horses now. They're lending out the land to another lady who has them, but still. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. That was actually kind of a... I may pull that out for Tabletop Thursday. I also don't want to, because that's just an angrier version of something I've already said, which is in the proficient player video. I already iterate upon all of those things, but I do it in a much better way where I'm offering a potential. I'm not just ranting about what I don't like. I'm saying, like, here's something you can do, or here's something that I do that I prefer. You know, taking the positive side of the coin. It's like the difference between hating on 5e or supporting DC20. They both have the same end result of moving to a different system, but one of them is talking positively about a system you like, and one of them is just complaining about a system you don't like. And you see what I'm saying about how they're, like, different, but they're the same, but they're different? You need... Wait. You need... Yep, real. I was put in charge, but need to see you on the coach's stream. I honestly don't entirely know what you meant by that, T-Dog. I will try to be in the chat of Coach's stream if I can. Usually he runs way too late for me. But I will try to at least be there in the beginning. So you would rather have DC20 be as sharp as a sword, and to be that it has to see where it's not strong. Oh, and to be that it has to see where it's not strong. I see what you're saying. Yeah. There's one thing, in fact, the first and only thing Coach has ever said or done that actually rubs me the wrong way, because he does this a lot of times in his video. Like, he even did it in the little interview today. He's like, oh, this is gonna upset people, or oh, this is gonna split people. And then he says something that I don't think is really that much of a hot take. You know, that thing where you're like, oh, this is gonna upset people. It's like, that didn't upset anybody. But there is one thing that he has said that for some reason that I really can't articulate very well. Just when I hear it, it's something, just my shoulder twitches, and I just, that doesn't sit right. And what it was what he said about preparing all the classes, having all the classes made before release, and not adding any classes after the fact. And the very first time he said that, the way he said it was like, I'm not trying to dig at other systems, but... And he sort of heavily implied that other systems release and then design the classes after the fact. And I thought, like, that's a little presumptuous, don't you think? Like, I mean, obviously 5e has done that, at least that I know of, one time, because they kind of had to, because it's like a 20-year-old system or whatever. Like, when your system is that old, that has a potential of happening. But at the time, that's when I was still learning and interested in Daggerheart, and he said, and just the way he said that, something was like, I don't think other people are, like, doing that to the same extent that he implied that they are. Because, and it's funny, because in an interview right after that, Sten, whatever his name is, that's, like, one of the lead guys on Daggerheart, now granted, this interview didn't release until a couple days later, but in an interview right after that, he said, oh, we already designed the this, the that, the that, like, there's other stuff that's already designed. It's, granted, going through a little bit of touch-up here and there, a little bit of beta testing, but for the most part, it's designed. And so all they gotta do is just kind of make sure it's good, and then they can release it. So, no, it was released after the system was released, but it was designed before the system was released. And I don't really know why that... I don't really know why that rubbed me the wrong way. That actually got me. I didn't feel right about that. As a kid in a dragon costume. I mean, he was talking about the Halloween costumes and all of that, which is fantastic that he said his favorite holiday is Halloween, because my favorite holiday is Halloween. Go figure. But I liked what Wheeler said about that. That was really on point. I think that's very accurate to why a lot of us love that holiday so much. But yeah, when people ask me what my favorite holiday is, I tell them it's Halloween. And it's also really interesting that he mentioned the whole gift giving part, because this year for Christmas, we told all of our family members that we are not participating in gift giving this year. What we're going to do instead is focus entirely on just being present with our family members. Like, that's it. That's the whole point. We want to gather. We want to hang out. We want to have food. I don't want lists. I don't want shopping. I don't want sales. I don't want, did I get this is this person covered? Is that person covered? Did I get a gift for that person? Is that person's gift as nice as that other person's? Like, I didn't want any of that this year. I want to just be with my family. And so we told the family this year, at least for this year, I don't know if we'll do it next year, but at least for this year, we're not buying anybody any presents, and we don't want anyone to buy us any presents. Like, I don't want to come home with anything. I want empty hands, because that's another part of, not that I'm not grateful for the gifts that people give me. I'm very grateful for the gifts people give me, but there's just the logistics of it. There's just unavoidable logistics of making sure everyone on the list is covered, making sure that everybody's pretty fairly covered, hauling everything there, wrapping everything, hauling everything back, finding new homes for all the new clutter that clutter makes it sound bad, but like, I bring a bunch of new items into my house. They all need new homes now. And so this year I told everyone, like, you know what? I just want the holiday to be the holiday, and I want it to be about people. I'm not doing the stuff this year. Shampoo, what I want to see, but comes off as kind of condescending. But I don't think he means it that way. It's just his passion, except, yeah, that's kind of like how my comments about online character sheets comes off as kind of condescending. I could see that. Yeah. Well, and my family is very, we do things this way, and this is the way we do things, and that's the way things are. I don't know if traditional is the right word for that, but yeah, my family is very, like, this is the way we've always done Christmas. It's just the way it is. They're not very big on the concept of changing it up, I don't think. Anyways. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. I have spent so much time tangenting and talking. This is supposed to be a relaxing stream, and it has thus far kind of been anything but. Not in like a bad way, it's just definitely not focusing on the, No, Aegis, you are not sending me Christmas gifts. The only person who would know how to ship me anything, there's only 2 people in the DC20 community that could actually send me something in the first place. Like they would know where to send it. And I trust them not to know better than to share that and or proxy gifts over to me. Nope. That's just a nope. This must be the 10. This must be the true super seeds. Right? Those are not the true super seeds. Those are the true super seeds. Wait. Oh, because you're not. You are. Okay. You. So we go until we get stacks of you. Got it. That's Tori's way of saying she's having fun. Lol. You're a member of both of those communities? What communities are those? You lost me on the both communities part. I'm not 100% on that, but... Okay, we got our wheat super seeds now. Okay. Okay, we got our wheat super seeds. Sort. Sort. Wow, we got a whole range of tools up there. We got so many tools, man. And we got extra seeds. Yep. As long as we have 2 super seeds, we can have more. We'll stick you on the thing for now. And this means we can make bread. Lots of bread. which is good enough for now because toast is pretty good. I don't know if we're going to use that for toast or we'll put the recipe up there for now. Actually, we need to consider going out for more charcoal in the morning. Oh, F off, creeper. And then the frickin' creepers came. I like toast. I like buttered toast. We have some homemade raspberry jam that was really good that we ate on toast. And biscuits. Oh man, I love me some biscuits. I love me some biscuits. Okay. No, it's awfully quiet with just the stuff going there. Okay. So we now have 10-10 wheat and 10-10 belladonna. So now what we get to do at this point, even though we're not exactly entirely done, is now we're going to crossbreed the wheat and the belladonna. Oh yeah, Minecraft. Remember Minecraft? Okay, so that's just more belladonna seeds. That is flax. So that is flax seeds. And because the belladonna and wheat were already 10-10-10-10, these are already 10-10-10-10-10s. Again, I picked up the 10-10-10 thing from the Snock video. It's so... the way she says it is just like... it makes my brain really happy. There's a sort of cadence to how she says it that's just really like musical and enjoyable. Okay. Alright, so now we have 10-10-10-10 flax. I think we need our crop sticks though. Because see, originally I was under the impression that you can't do AgriCraft without the crop sticks. And then on the server that we were playing, actually the server that you're a part of, Aegis, Steve was doing it without crop sticks. And I'm like, what? See, these guys, so they have dominant genes and sub genes. So if I take, like, for example, if I take my magnifying glass, this is flax belladonna, and that's flax belladonna. So every time we breed them, we have a chance. See, that one's also flax belladonna. So it's not pure flax. So even though they're 10-10-10, they're not pure flax. And so we are trying to get pure flax. But what we can do is we can just plant them here and then have a 3x3, which might increase our chances. See, now this is flax. So now that I have one set of 10-10-10 flax, I can just crossbreed them again, and if the seed stacks, if it stacks with this one, we're good. If it doesn't, we're not good, and that's what happened here. So this is the flax, all 10s. This is going to be, yep, flax belladonna. So as long as the one right next to the watering can is the one that stacks, we're good, although we ran out of crop sticks. We are gonna run out of crop sticks. Oi. But the reason why flax is important... okay, so these stacked. So those are the flax. So now we have our flax super seeds. And while we're here, we're just gonna take these down and we're just gonna pick up all this flax. So those are the flax belladonnas. And the reason why that is so critical is because flax turns into string. And then string turns into wool. And 3 wool, we got exactly 3 out of it, how perfect, turns into a sleeping bag. And what time is it out there? It is daytime, so I can't show off my sleeping bag. Darn. Oh, by the way, hi, Jekyll. Hello. Crop sticks? You giggle every time I say crop sticks? Why? I think it was... who was it? Was it Bear? I think Bear told me once that I have an accent, and I was, like, super confused, because I'm like... what? And he goes, everyone who speaks thinks that they don't speak with an accent. And I'm like, okay, but no, for real, like, what accent? Like, I know what Southern sounds like. I know what East sounds like. I know what West sounds like. I know what, like, I know what, Oh, what's the one? What Cajun sounds like? I mean, I know different, not hyper degree. Like, I couldn't tell you if you're from Texas or Louisiana, although there's a slight difference. There's, like, different kinds of Southern. But, like, you know, usually there is an accent that it has, like, a name. You know, Scottish accent, English accent, American accent. There's usually a name to it. But I don't know what accent I have outside of just American accent. But that, you know, there's many different dialects of American accents. So I just remember being really confused. I'm like, what accent is that? What accent do I have? And then I also tend to alter the way I speak based on what I've heard a lot. So some of my favorite streamers are English. So I have been known to accidentally say things slightly English because I hear them say it all the time so often on repeat that it just like stuck in my brain and I started saying it that way. Also, we need gravel. We don't need clay. I have pounds of clay. I think we're good on clay. I think we're good on sand too, to be honest. Maybe some dirt, though. Some dirt would not be bad. A full inventory, though. And I mean, I was raised by my grandparents who hail from the heart of St. Louis, so Midwestern tracks to me. Like, if you told me that my accent was Midwestern, I would just have to believe you. Like, when I was growing up, it wasn't battery, it was bat tree. That's still one of my favorites of all time. Thanks, Grandpa. Bat tree. Okay, we can also pull this out and pull this over. Okay, so we're going to mount our husk head. Bloop. Okay. And empty. Okay, let's see. We got a couple of salamoniac. We got some iron, some minerals. We do need to go ahead and there we go. We've got... I think for now... Obviously, somebody's still alive. We're still hearing gurrs. Where are you? Oh. Hey, buddy. See, my original plan was that all of the alchemy stuff was going to go on the outside. And then this would just be like a little... Oh, hey, door. This would just be like a little cabin on the inside. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't like it. I don't like it. I need to... Alright, here's what we're gonna do. This is what gets me in Minecraft every time, is I have a firm, like, this is what I'm gonna do. I have a firm plan, and then the plan just goes out the window. It does not survive contact with the enemy. A PvP encounter. I only had PvP happen one time. And while it certainly wasn't because of the PvP, let's just say that group did not continue. Okay, so let's do this. Instead of... What? Oh, wrong tool. There we go. See what I mean about how cool the excavators are? Or wait a minute. I was supposed to do one out. Oh yeah, I need to do... Okay, hold on. I need to do in order to do a proper one out. Okay, there we go. Oop. Okay, there we go. Also, what time is it? Okay, we're good. I don't want to accidentally go into the coach stream. That was not the goal. So I think we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. Oh, and that's... I keep forgetting. It's actually... Because I can do 3 here. Oh, and then I can put the 2 here the way they were before. Right? Yeah, and if I had stairs, I could even put the, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's do... Okay, let's just empty everything as much as we can, because we just need a lot of room. We'll sort through it later. Yeah, I like the idea of the other stuff being inside. I can't help it. It's just rubbing me the wrong way, so I'm gonna fix it, because that's the nice thing about Minecraft. Ooh, a doppelganger would be fun. I had a doppelganger once in one of my sessions, but it did not turn into as nearly as cool a thing as I had in my head. Like, in my head it was really cool, and in real life it was kind of like, oh yeah, we get it, the captain's a doppelganger, haha. They, like, figured it out in, like, 0.2 seconds, and I'm like, okay. Oh. They figured it out very quickly. Let's put it that way. Oop. You're not the right device. Yeah, we're just gonna go back to the way we were, because the wonderful things he does, da-da-da-da-da, we're off to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of Oz. Okay. Right? Sulfur? That's sulfur. I want mercury first. Please. Okay, and then sulfur. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Dang it. Alright, let's try... See what I mean about how the incubator just takes up so much space? This is what I waste my time doing. I was wasting my time doing it before, and I'm wasting my time doing it now. Oh, I can't. Except if there's a thing here. If like, well, maybe I can do, like, the oven. If the oven is smaller... Come on. Come on. Oh, it won't because the torch is there. Go away, stupid torch. Okay. Okay, yeah, no, I can still reach that. Okay. So if I do... Where's the yellow? Here, so I can reach that. Yeah, mercury. Now if I put the salt here, can I reach that? Not really. Okay, so no matter how I spin it, there's an issue. Okay. Let's see, what other options are available to me? Because I could move the seed thingamajigger. It really doesn't have to go down there. It could go anywhere. Actually, I kind of almost don't even need it, but it is handy to have at the last minute. So what we can do is we can move him out of the way, because he's still accessible up there. The 2 tanks can go here for sure. I don't think that's in question. In fact, oop, that was the wrong device. What I wanted to do is... Where's the tank? There we go. There's the tank. What I wanted to do, actually, is this time we'll put the tank there. And we'll do that. And then we'll put the fluid vessel down here. And then do... Oh, not that. Okay, here we go. There we go. Will it not go? Oh, no, it'll go. Okay. There. That way I still get my water for the moment. Once I get stairs, then I can put in the infinite water pipe, and we don't have to have the water down there, and I can drop him down. That's fine. These guys still need a solution. And also, it's becoming nighttime. And also, my door broke. Oh, wait. There it is. Alright, let's see. I just really wanted my hut to be a certain size, okay? It's just really important to me that my hut is a certain size. Is the size of my hut a problem? Yes. Do I still love my hut and want it to be a certain size? Also, yes. And put the tall one in the corner. I like these guys being in the corner. See, those guys make it easy. And then see if once I get the infinite block, actually, I could just move those two over there. It's just the incubator that takes up a ton of space. Alright, what do we have to 10, 10, 10 still? Because I know we're not done yet. Flax. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Tell a lie. Ta-da! Starts at 8:30. Yeah, it starts in about 40 minutes, actually. Yeah, 30, 40 minutes. It's only if one of the player... Okay, let's see. No matter how it rolls out, let's see. But that's only if one of the players wants to be there for a certain thing. I think that's supposed to be a thing. If he is okay, they're just going to be searching a magical castle. Oh, I love the idea of magical castles. You sold me on magical castles. That's the only solution I never found in it. Well, but let's see. If we build the storage on this side, and actually that was never rightly confirmed because the other concept was that I'd need to fill this out. The proper storage could go here, would come out the back end of that. Let's see. I don't have a sword, do I? Nope. So let's see, how many is that? If you figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 1 for the wall, I'd only need to build it out a couple of squares, and then I could do storage out from here. It's supposed to be like, what, 7 by 9? And then the open area for the various altars. Either way you spin it, the storage is only really gonna go on either this side or the front. I like the idea of the altars extending out this direction because that's where the empty space is. So, with that being the case, I think it's fair to say that it might not be a bad plan to go ahead and extend out the incubator on the back side there, because the appearance is still gonna be flush. Okay, so we're gonna pick up some extra dry earth for our little mud hut. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to kind of what we had before, but this time, broke my excavator, we're gonna come out so that 1, and it's 3 wide. Sorry, door. We're gonna have to take you down, door. I am so sorry. But it's gotta be 4 wide or it won't work. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3. I guess we just don't have a door on this side, maybe? Where's my axe? I probably stashed it. There it is. There's a axe. It's not my nice iron axe. I wonder where my nice iron axe went. Okay, so let's just do that. And actually, let's do... There's 1, 2, 3, 4, because you have to have access. 1, and then you have the 2, and then the center, and then the 3rd. So that'll probably be enough. Oops, excuse me. Okay, there we go. And I suppose we don't really have to have the corners. The current design of the house has no corners, so we won't do corners. Come on. Okay, yoink. Yoink. And we still get to keep our neat looking, like, tile roof. Okay, so now we have a sort of hut area, which there's crafting materials right there, so this is gonna pop out right next to them. So if we put the door here, that's just gonna look weird in it, but actually if we put it on this side, it probably won't look as bad as I feared it would. Because it's... Oh, and then that time it broke for real. Okay, never mind. Dirt you go. Alright. So I want it flush with the wall, so to speak. So here, that's mercury. I always put mercury. I try to always put mercury on the back. Salt. There. Because the idea is that this triple face should be flush with where the wall used to be. And then there's a block of space to get around to the mercury vessel. I suppose it doesn't have to be that deep. And we need to craft a new excavator anyways. So where is some cobblestone? I probably don't have any sticks though, do I? Probably don't have any sticks. I don't think I do. Okay. Well, anyways. I can just use a regular shovel, can I? Yeah. Because it can be right up against... It can be right up against it one way, just not the other way. Am I being overly particular about the exact size of this house? Yes, yes I am. Shush. My house. It's my mud hut. Dried earth hut. I guess it's not technically mud, although it should be as soon as it rains. It's dried earth. There. Minimal impact, in theory. I still haven't decided yet what storage is going to be on the side or the front. It probably should be this side. It probably should be this side, if I'm honest. Which means eventually I'm going to want to probably have to be over there. Well, in theory, if I did it right, I would just... Well, we're not going to get redstone for a bit, so I'd probably need a door. And back. You've been all over? Do I dare ask all over what? Ooh, food. Food sounds good. Food sounds good. Jelly, I want food. Except for it's not time for me to eat because it's bedtime. Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you back, Mantic. There was a midstream tirade that happened that definitely set me behind schedule, that's for sure. And it was not the size of the mud hut tirade. It was me having ideas in my head about the way things would look and them not looking that way. Okay, yeah. So for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to build out around the storage. In fact, we're probably gonna get the wood before we get We're probably gonna get the wood before we get... Alright. Thanks, door. Alright, back to business. Well, you know, at least now I can put a light back there, so huzzah. Back to business. Alright, first and foremost, we need to probably regather some of our tools up, because, like, we dumped a bunch of our tools off. Okay. Okay, now we will need artichoke for the mutandis. So we are gonna need to do that. And we do need more sticks, so that's gonna be a problem. So for right now, I'm just gonna do this. However, also, where are some bones at? Them bones, them bones, them dry bones. That's a Schoolhouse Rock intro, by the way. Them bones, them bones. Except for I don't know all the words 100%. Let's see, I don't really need to... Oh, there we go. Broadaxe, that's what I'm looking for. Also, right before Mutandis, I probably shouldn't be X-naying all the little saplings near my area, but whatever. Excuse me, dead bush. They're a great place for sticks. Okay. Fun PvP session you ran. You once told player to make the most slippery character he could, and the rest of the party were bounty hunters. Wow. But see, I feel like that would probably be a great scenario because that's where everybody's in on what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, the PvP wasn't unexpected, and it wasn't two people IRL who don't like each other having, for all intents and purposes, a dick measuring contest in game. That manifested in game, if you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't done out of, it doesn't sound like it was done out of spite or anger. Okay. So now we've got a little bit more charcoal. At the very least, we've got more access to some more charcoal. I like my little mud hut. I think it's cute. Okay. So, let's see. We're going to take half of this. Actually, let's take half of this and half of that and turn that into planks for sticks, because that should give us a fair number of sticks, plus we already had a couple from those bushes. We are going to need that. And then, yeah, let's get some charcoal, because charcoal is something I don't want to fall shy on, especially as we're going to need it for more salts. We're good on mercury, but we're going to need it for more salts. 13. Also, we haven't checked in with our quest book in a while, so we're gonna do that. Quest book. I need somewhere to punch. There we go. To turn it into the tome, to combine it with another tome, to right-click, and then now here's all of our guidebooks. So our current quest book, it wants us to, yeah, we need the anointing paste, which is part of what gives us the mutandis. Which is, like, basically one of all the ingredients. So if we, what do we got? Yep, water artichoke. So if we 10-10-10 the water artichoke, we should be able to make the anointing paste that gets us the mutandis, which gets us saplings, which gets us real wood. He follows the traveler. The slippery N, in parentheses, PC, has shown up several times later in our campaign and is one of my favorites, where we've determined that he follows the traveler. Traveler with a capital T. I heard laughing coming from the other room. I take it that Guild Night is going well. See, so I got the notification for the live stream, which means he's at a 30-minute countdown. So let's see. Those guys are 8, which probably most of these guys will be. In fact, we can go ahead and, yep, 7, 8s, 7s. So the 8s will be better than the 7s, so we can go ahead and swap these out. And then we'll put the water artichokes up so that they're not in the way. Basically, I'm trying to beeline to wood. And once I unlock saplings and once I farm some wood, I can turn my mud hut into a proper cabin, build the storage facility and the storage drawers that I'm wanting to build, and figure out the to do with this guy. I may put him at the back. You know, I can kind of picture that. Can you kind of picture a 5 wide? So he's 3, so you figure 1 space on the other side, 5 wide. You put him in the back. Kind of like he is now. You put cobblestone around, or like this stone stuff. You put that around him in a sort of like fireplace mantle kind of way. You put these 3 on one side, 1 of those and 2 of those on the other side with their infinite water blocks, and then you have the back end of your quote storage facility, and then the whole front end, because the storage facility is going to go out away from it's going to be longer than the cabin is. That's going to be a fun build. I think that's going to work out really well. Most of it likely to happen off camera, of course. 8s, 9s. Ooh, get some 9s in there. This is 7 though. That's our OG. 8s, 9s. We'll punch you out and put a 9 down, which is that mid one. You're 7, right? Yep. And then we'll punch you out because you're 7 as well. Put that 8 down there. See, it goes so much faster when you start at a higher... Truthfully, when you're starting from 1, it doesn't actually take like that long. Like I've done it a couple of times. Like I said, the difference is like you're shaving like 15 to 20 minutes off of the whole process. Which when you figure 15 to 20 minutes per plant, is kind of a big deal. That does tend to add up, but yeah. So it's not insignificant, but it's also like I didn't have to make that change. I could have just stuck with leaving it at 1, but I'm lazy. I'm lazy. Okay, we're probably gonna need 1 or 2 more generations still. Where's the seats? There's the seats. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. You know, I've had a real hard time with long-term campaigns working out. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe it's not the players or the system, but if it's me. Because truthfully, the one common denominator with all of my games ending kind of maybe before they could have, the one common denominator is me. And that's not to sound like, oh, woe is me or anything like that. It's just a fact of life. Of like, I think that my tendencies, it's like right now I'm really into Minecraft, right? I don't want to do other stuff. I want to Minecraft. I'm not interested. I don't care. I'm hyper fixated on this one thing. I think that tendency makes it so that either running or playing long-term games is just not something I'm engineered to do unless I'm prepared to deliberately counter that tendency. Okay, Mandrake. What do we need for the anointing paste? Oh, Icy Needle, Belladonna, which we have plenty of. Where's the Belladonna? We should have plenty of it. Oh, yeah. We really only need 1 anointing paste, though. Okay. Because now we need iron. We do not have enough iron, so time to farm more iron. Yoink. Now, first and foremost, we do need some of this mandrake. And we're going to put it in there. And we need some sal ammoniac, which means standing here grinding with a water bucket. Oh, we have 3 water buckets. Oh, yeah, we have 3 water buckets. Duh. You're the one that put it there. Oh, now I see why the one was next to the water and the one was above the water. Haha. Silly Tori. Extra mouse movements are not for kids. Ugh. I have to look so much higher because I was smart and put the stupid thing above the water. It could be the format expectation. Some 6-session mini campaigns are perfect for 6 or 7 sessions. I'm currently running a 3-year 53-session campaign, and I'm sort of hitting a wall because everyone is nearing level 12 and getting super powerful. The highest level any of my players have ever gotten organically, like, you know, actually leveling there, is 5 in 5e. My games run way too short. Part of that is couple of things. One, I have a really bad habit of preparing for a lot more than what players actually get to. I'm like, okay, they're gonna go here, they're gonna make this NPC. Depending on how that interaction goes, they may end up there, they may end up there, but either way, they're gonna about here, and then that should get them the quest. That's like 2-ish combats and like 1 social encounter. That's a you know, session-ish, right? And they get through like the first encounter with the first NPC, stretching it maybe a combat, and then that's it, the session's over. So I do have a tendency to like, here's a session, and then we get through a quarter of that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that doesn't help. Also, it doesn't help that I can't play in 4-hour sessions. I really can't. Thanks, Torch. For one, work schedule, like trying to fit it in after work and this and that and the other thing, I get like, I have 2 hours. I just, there's no other way of getting around it. I have I only have 2 hours. And the problem with weekends is that, like, weekends are not a good time for me to schedule things because either A, I've got family. Oh, hello, Beta. That's a new name. That's a brand new name. Hello, Beta. But yeah, weekends are not good because I've either got like, oh, we want to go on the boat this weekend, or like, okay, Stitch Day with sister, which is, they're like breakfast with the folks, which is a midday or all day affair. So I don't like planning games on those days because then it leaves those days blocked. They're not open and available for me to schedule with people. I tried doing Fridays because at least I don't have to worry about going to bed on time on Fridays. But the problem with that logic is that work kind of has nothing to do with it. At 8 p.m., I am falling asleep. It doesn't matter if you put coffee in me. It doesn't matter if you put energy drink in me. It doesn't matter if, like, unless the house is on fire, I'm going to bed. Like, I will fall asleep in my chair, in the car, wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing. And when 8 o'clock hits, I'm done. I can't. Unless there's some extenuating, extremely special circumstances. So even though it's like, oh, but on Friday nights, I can stay up late. Like, no, that's not actually how that goes down. By the time 8:30 hits, I'm at a wall and I can't run anymore. So I'm still stuck with the 2 hour, because they can't even get here until 6. So it's like, we get 2.5 hours. Like that, you don't get to get a lot done in 2.5 hours, especially when people are memeing and joking and getting distracted and yeah. I probably have not quite enough hemoglobic fluid. I mean, the thing only takes... Also, I forgot about the cheat, so I can do that. And then, let's see. Ammoniacs are 2-to-1. Charcoal is also 2-to-1. So I'm going to do this so that I get plenty of salt. Because, yeah, I don't have a lot of salt. That's strata salt. That's dirt. Let's see. Sort. Oh, here we go. I've got my chemical. Whoops. No, I don't want you guys going there. I want you going. Okay. Sulfur. Iron. I should have mercury already. I do not. Am I out of mercury? I might be out of mercury. I think you can actually get... Let's see if we can cut this cod up. Because I think you can actually get 2-to-1 mercury for cooked cod. I want to say cooked cod. It might not be cooked. So I should make more toast. I can also just put the bread in there since I can grow bread for free, basically. I want to try the cooked cod, though. Oh, thank you, Beta. I just saw the, sometimes I get going on a tangent and I don't look over and actually read my chat for a while. So I apologize for being super behind on chat all the time. But thank you. I appreciate you popping in. I'm a fan of anyone who wants to stick around and be part of the conversation. Okay. And then let's see. I need just such a habit to do it that way. Oh yeah, we're good. I'll take this 8 charcoal back. We're at 32 salts. We're good. We're good for a while anyways. Yeah, 2-to-1 ratio. So 4 cooked cod got us 8 mercury, which is not as high as salammoniac, but you know. 4 salammoniac. Sulfur. So let's see, we got 22 sulfur, 39 salt, and 8 mercury. So right now what's holding us back is the mercury, but look at that. So salammoniac crystals are 5-to-1 mercury ratio. So yes, they require a little bit of grinding because you got to sit there and fill the stupid tank up over and over and over again. But Once we get our water pipes in here, they'll just automatically fill with water all the time, and then we don't have to worry about that. And then now we got 20 mercury shard, which is a lot. So that should give us, at minimum, 22 iron. Which is a fair amount. So I should probably do... There we go. So now that's going to cook it together, and we're going to get a fair amount of iron. That iron is going to allow us to make a witch's cauldron. We also need to prepare... Is it daylight? Thanks, door. Door keeps falling off. We need to go get some wood for logs to make a campfire, because we gotta heat the cauldron. You know, I used to eat, when I worked in the park, I used to eat a can of tuna every day. Sometimes a can and a half to 2 cans of tuna every day for like months. I'm not even kidding. I love canned tuna. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't really suffered any major issues. That was in like my late teens, mid-late teens, so... And I'm 35 now, so if there were major health concerns, they like are here or came and went or whatever. Because yeah, that was a long time ago. But I used to eat a lot of tuna. I love tuna. I like making Kraft mac and cheese, and then sometimes I'll put tuna and peas in it, like a tuna casserole. But for real though, my actual favorite dish, like one of my favorite dishes of all time, is Kraft mac and cheese with hot dogs in it, and then I eat it with ketchup on top. Oh, absolutely, Beta. You lurk your happy self away. I do that in streams all the time. I do not always make my presence known, so I totally get it. Alright, so we're gonna do campfire. 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 So that we can make a cauldron. Oh, wow, mouse. Okay. I know my mouse hand is tired, but good grief, Tori. Alright, here we go. Cauldron. Where should we put the cauldron? It should technically be next to water, so we're gonna put it right... Yeah. We're gonna put the campfire down. Bonfire lit. We're gonna put the cauldron on top of the campfire, and then we're gonna take the anointing paste. And there we go. We now have a witch's cauldron. Okay. So, one of the things we still have to 10-10-10, I think, is wolfsbane, which is necessary for the next area, or next thingy. So let's do... Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's 7:18. We're 2 minutes shy. That's... Is that wolfsbane? Oh yeah, that's wolfsbane. Okay. So we're getting to be 10 minutes shy of the coach stream. So it is basically about that time, because I want to have, like, a bit of a break. I mean, I'm going to keep playing, but... Come on, wolfsbane. But, yeah, the coach stream is going to be coming up in a few minutes. We're just going to keep... We won't end it quite here, but... I'm probably going to end it in the next 4-ish minutes. So that there's just a few minutes of crossover, and then... Okay, fine. We'll just put some wolfsbane over here. Maybe this wolfbane likes me. You like to... There we go. Good, wolfsbane. Oop, wrong cross. There we go. Okay. Let the wolfsbane 10-10-10ing begin. Probably should get some tools out of the way, though. So we're starting off at 8. Because I'm a dirty, filthy cheater that configured the mod to start at a higher value to save time. I know, I'm a terrible person. I'm not actually a terrible person. I'm a pretty... I'd like to think I'm a pretty good person. Like, I'm a pretty reasonable person. Oh! Whoops! The wolfsbane flower went into the pot. Yoicks. Okay, let's see. 8, 9... We want the last 2 first. Okay, and then we'll do one of the other 8s here. And then we'll seed, 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 seed. We're just gonna let that ride actually until we're done actually 10-10ing everything, because odds are every time we hit that it's gonna fall into the pot and cause problems. Cauldron recipes are specific. They're order specific. Like, you have to put things in the right order or it messes the whole thing up. Oh wow, 10s already. Okay, I'll take that. Okay. Let's see. 3 10s. 3 10s. So the first one and the last one for sure, and then maybe like the second to last one. Close enough. Okay. Tuna. Are you going to, I know you said you're at work, but are you going to be heading over to the coach stream beta? I know Aegis probably will, unless he does like what I do and he goes to bed. Oh wow, these are all like 10-10-10s. Okay. Okay. They're probably, their minor stats are... Okay, time to test. Yeah, these aren't quite full 10s. Those aren't quite full actual 10s. Those are definitely not quite full actual 10s. But it's a really good start. So we're going to pop, pop. And then we're going to... We're going to do the 2 10-10-10s. For sure. And then the third one. Third one back. Okay. Okay. Oh, excellent. Glad to hear you'll be there. I don't know that I'll be able to be for the whole thing, but I'm definitely going to be there for like the first part of it and see Coach catching up with every people and see if he's got any commentaries or anything, because I definitely watched the part 2 of the Bardic Aggravation interview, which you should check out. Anyone who's interested in DC20 or Coach, check it out. They're both really good interviews, I think, but that one's definitely a standout for me. Let's see. Okay, so now we're good on that, so we can update with our journal now, because we got our Witch's Cauldron, we got our Anointing Paste. So now we need Mutandis, which is Belladonna, Water Artichoke, and Bone Meal. Okay. Alright, first of all, let's punch the air to get our other tome. 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 Okay, there we go. That combines our books together so we don't have like a ton of books. Okay, so Water Artichoke. Was it Belladonna, Water Artichoke? Yeah, Bella, Water, Bone Meal. Oh, so we didn't need Wolfsbane. I thought we needed Wolfsbane for some reason. Okay, perfect. So we have a lot to make a lot of Mutandis, because we're going to need a lot. Because the Mutandis is only a chance. Oh, I need the water bucket. Okay, so the way the cauldron works is you wait for it to bubble. And then once it bubbles, you throw in what you need to throw in the order. And you can either throw it from your hand or you can throw it from your inventory. So it can go Bella, Water, Bone. And then you get that little poofy green smoke. Oh yeah, that'll be really interesting, Mantic. Wow! Yeah, let us know how that goes. Draw Steel is one of those that I've really not paid any mind to, but if other people share their thoughts, it's kind of like Nimble. Like, I just sort of passed it by because I figured I was good, but part of me is curious. Player-to-player resource refueling mechanic that it uses. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been watching any videos on it, but I might have to. Okay, well, we are for sure at about the 5-minute mark, so I do need to call it here, guys, because Coach's stream is going to be starting in about 5 minutes. But I really appreciate you guys being here and chilling and hanging out with me while we just entertained ourselves with some Minecraft. So let's see. Oh, it sounds okay. It sounds like beta was on their first time running a game. That's fantastic. The more DMs, the better. It's awesome. Don't worry about it if things aren't perfect. Oh, everybody always says that about DMing, but for real, like you gotta just kind of like tune out all the naysaying voices that you sometimes hear and any feelings that you have of not being good enough. Just like tune that all out and just keep doing it, and you'll get a feel for a style. And once you have your style, then you're good. Cause like DM advice videos are like a catch-22 because they can help you, but they can also hurt you too. Because you don't need to DM the way other DMs DM. You need to DM the way that you DM. You need your style, and that's what's going to make things better, I think. That's just my personal opinion. I'm talking crap about DM advice videos, and I'm giving out DM advice. Wow. Okay. On that happy note, I will see you guys next time.